So hey anime fans, the series name is What If Naruto Got Harem with Ladybug, so let's start the series. On a pleasant day in Paris, France, a 14-year-old girl wearing a maid uniform was attempting to complete her chores before heading to school. She was incredibly beautiful, with soft tan skin, blue eyes, long golden blonde hair that fell down her back, and cute whisker-like birthmarks on her cheeks. She was a Kunoichi from Konoha and originally from the Elemental Nations, an island in Japan that not many outsiders are aware of. How did she go from being a dangerous assassin to working as a maid for a wealthy family? Her name was Naru Uzumaki, and she currently works as a maid for the Agresti family. Well, it all began a year ago. Rewind. Naru was wearing black funeral clothes and some bandages in the Elemental Nations of Konoha because they had just held the third Hokage's funeral a few days after the Sand and Sound invaded them during the Chunin exams. After the funeral, the two elders for Konoha called her to the Hokage's office, leaving the young blonde wondering what they wanted from her at this point. "What do you old farts want this time?" Naru asked them, showing them no respect because she always felt they didn't deserve it. They glared at her, but they didn't say anything about her rude comment. "Naru Uzumaki Jinchuriki of the Kyubi, you are hereby banished from Konoha," Kohara tells her, causing her to scowl and glare at them as she gets up and growls, "What the fuck? Why am I being banished? I did nothing wrong," she demanded, causing Hamura to glare at her. "For releasing the Kyubi during the fight against the Shikaku," he said, making her laugh. "You know what, fine, but don't come to me later regretting your mistake and asking me to come back. I'm out of here," Naru says, leaving the office while giving them the finger. She understood immediately that this was simply an excuse to get rid of her, but she had already decided she was done. Okay, some new stuff for my next novel, Jiraiya, who was exiting a brothel, says as he emerges with his typical blush and twisted smile as she races to the red light district. He then sees Naru making her way to her apartment and notices the irate expression on her face. Feeling uneasy, he approaches her to find out what's wrong because, after all, she is his goddaughter. He has always felt a great deal of regret for not being involved in her life after her birth, which is one of the reasons he agreed to help her prepare for the Chunin exams final so he could begin making up for lost time. She sighs as he approaches her and taps her shoulder, asking, "Hey brat, what's got you so upset?" "The elders just banished me from Konoha, so I'm packing my stuff, but needless to say I'm done with all of this. I no longer want anything to do with the life of a Kunoichi," she says, frowning as she makes her way to her apartment. He scowled and became very angry when Jiraiya heard that. He wasn't shocked that they did this. They used his sensei's death to finally get rid of the poor girl. He knew that if his sensei had been alive, he would have stopped them immediately. However, he wasn't going to let them get away with this. Oh hell no, he had to help Naru first. He follows her to her apartment and discovers graffiti on her door that reads, "Die Fox bitch, go to hell demon slut," among other horrible things. He noticed her sigh as he entered her now trash-filled apartment, where many of her possessions were shattered and destroyed. She then fell to her knees and, for the first time since she was 6 years old, started crying while Jiraiya looked on in sorrow. He then understood that keeping her in this village would only make her worse. She was so unhappy, but she managed to hide it from everyone very well. If Minato saw how these people treated his little girl, he would be turning in his grave. "I'm so sorry Minato, Kushina, I have failed you both. I'm not worthy to be her godfather, but maybe I can do something for her, something right," he thinks to himself, smiles, and hands her a passport and some cash, causing her to wipe away her tears. "What's this?" she asks him, and he walks to the door, stopping at the doorway, and gives her instructions. Before he departs, she runs to him and gives him a back hug. "Those are your tickets to freedom. Use that passport and money to buy yourself a plane ticket for the first country outside of Japan you see and live your new life there. Start fresh, make new and real friends, find some hobbies, do whatever you couldn't do while living here, Naru. You're still young and you deserve to be happy. Don't throw your life away for people who don't appreciate you," he says fondly. "Thank you, pervy sage," she says to him, causing Jiraiya to turn around and give her a gentle hug in return. "No problem, brat, now go and enjoy your new life," he says, causing her to nod her head. She finishes packing and leaves for the airport, and Jiraiya smiles as she leaves, happy that he was able to do something kind for his goddaughter. When Naru got to the airport with her belongings, she looked around before purchasing a ticket and saw a gift shop. Having gotten the idea, she went inside and used some cash to buy herself some new clothes. When she emerged, she was wearing a black hoodie with a red Chinese dragon on it, a red short skirt, black leggings, and red Converse sneakers. Her hair was up in a crown braid at the back with a red ribbon tied in the back, and she was laughing and feeling adorable. The 13-year-old girl then rushed to the ticket desk, purchased a ticket to Paris, France, and boarded the aircraft. She smiled as she looked out the window and fell asleep, feeling for the first time in her life that a heavy burden had been lifted. She wakes up the following morning to find that she has reached Paris. She exits the aircraft and looks around in delight and wonder, saying joyfully, "Wow, this place is amazing," as she starts to survey her surroundings. She decided it was time to find a place to live and a part-time job after she finished exploring the city, but before she could, she heard some noises nearby. She went to investigate and discovered a group of men gathered around a man wearing glasses and a nice suit. He appeared to be leaving his car and trying to go somewhere important, but he was soon surrounded by a group of people who wanted to rob him. "Okay, old man, hand us all your belongings and cash right now," one of the thieves says with a sly grin. Gabriel glares at him. He had left his house for a day, something he hadn't done since his wife died, to attend a crucial meeting, but he was soon surrounded by thugs who wanted to rob him. To make matters worse, he had left the family's bodyguard, Gorilla, at home to keep his son Adrian safe and protected. This really infuriated him. He was about to call someone when a 13-year-old girl suddenly punched one of the men in the face. She stood in front of him protectively, glaring at them. "Piss off and leave him alone, otherwise you're gonna have to answer to my fists," she says icily, making the men frown. The 5 of them attempt to jump her, but she quickly smirks, and to Gabriel's surprise, she easily beats them all up. After that, they all fled from her, saying, "Yeah, you bastards better run." She yells at them, then turns to face him and gives him a kind smile. "You okay?" she asks him worriedly, making Gabriel stare at her in silence, making her a little uneasy. She was about to leave, but he stopped her in her tracks, saying, "Wait, will you please come with me for a moment," which causes her to turn to face him, shrug, and smile. "Sure, I don't have anywhere to go right now anyways," she tells him, startling him. She then got into his car, and Naru accompanied him inside. After the meeting was over, they left and went back inside, but instead of going home, they stopped at a small cafe where he gave his savior a meal, which made her eyes light up and start to drool a little. "Wow, this looks delicious, thank you so much. Oh, I'm Naru Uzumaki by the way, Databeo," she exclaims cheerfully to him, and she starts to eat hungrily while he silently observes her. He asked her inquisitively, "Tell me, young miss, what did you mean earlier that you have nowhere to go?" which caused her to wince and pause for a moment before she started telling him her whole story and about her own exile. When she was finished, he felt devastated. Gabriel acknowledged to himself that he wasn't the kindest person in the world, particularly after his wife died a few months ago, shattering his heart and turning it into a block of ice. However, even someone like him would never do something so terrible to a child. "Miss, how would you like to come work for me at my mansion? Our old maid and caretaker recently retired and I am in need of a new one if you don't mind. I will make sure not only you're paid well but also you have a roof over your head in one of the many rooms of my mansion, plus you're the same age of my son. You would make an excellent companion for him, especially after his mother passed away recently," Gabriel says, giving her an offer she couldn't turn down. After giving it some thought, Naru accepted his offer. He then took her home and had Natalie draft a contract for her to sign. After she finished, she was shown to her room and introduced to Adrian Agresti, with whom she soon became brother and sister. Gabriel Agresti even helped her get a place at College François Dupont, where she joined 2 clubs and made a lot of new friends. She particularly enjoyed ballet and fencing, which she enjoyed doing with Adrian, who also enjoys fencing. Flashback comes to an end. Naru smiles as she finishes her chores and heads to her room to change into her outfit, which includes the red skirt and dragon hoodie she purchased at the airport. She then grabs her bag, which has a red dragon on it, and leaves for school. On the way out, she notices Adrian trying to sneak to school, so she answers her phone when it rings and sees it's Gabriel. "Hello?" she asks. "Naru, is Adrian with you?" "He snuck out," he asks. She looks across the street and sees Adrian now, looking at her as if afraid she was going to turn him in. She just winked at him and grinned, saying, "Nope, sorry, I haven't seen him," lying to her boss, which made Adrian smile. Adrian then mouthed a thank you and ran off to the school, which made her smile to herself as Gabriel hung up. She laughed when Kurama asked, "You really care about that boy, don't you, Kit?" and decided to change her course in order to make her life seem more plausible. "Of course I do, Adrian is like a little brother to me," she said cheerfully, causing Kurama to smile at her happiness. After she departed, she started to grin for real, not the artificial smiles she always uses to trick others. She was genuinely happy, unlike the fake happiness she had back in Konoha, which honestly made him sick that she had to constantly appear to be happy when she wasn't in that hellhole. After Naru told him that she never hated him for the way he treated her and that she despised the village instead, forcing the fox to confess to her that he hated the Uchiha clan more than he hated her, they even grew closer. She thinks to herself, "Oh, I hope I won't be late on my first day," because today was her first day of the 10th grade. Last year, she was in the 9th grade, which she really enjoyed, but she detested being in the same class as Chloe, a blonde girl who Naru frequently encounters because she was Adrian's friend and their parents worked together. She was genuinely impressed by Adrian's patience with Chloe. While Fu was on his way home to retrieve the Ladybug and Black Cat Miraculous to give to his 2 chosen champions, Marinette and Adrian, to help deal with the corrupt soul who now possesses the Butterfly Miraculous, he unintentionally and accidentally tripped on the stairs he was climbing down from at the park. His eyes widened, and he was about to land face first on the ground when he was suddenly and accidentally saved by a blonde-haired girl wearing a dragon hoodie. She asked him worriedly, "Are you okay?" and placed him safely on the ground. He stared at the girl in silence until he had an idea and smiled at her. "Yes, thank you, miss," he said, making Naru smile. She then hurried off to her school, and Fu watched her go with a smile on his face as Waze emerged. "Master, what are you thinking right now?" he asked him inquisitively, causing Fu to turn to him. "I'm thinking that the new Ladybug and Cat Noir will be getting some extra help," he said, and he returned to his apartment, surprising the Kwame who was following him. Poor Adrian, Nera thinks to herself as she enters the school and sits down next to Juelka. "Morning, Jewel," she says cheerfully, causing Juelka to smile shyly at her. When she arrives at the school, she discovers Adrian is not there, which makes her frown knowing her friend was discovered by Natalie and taken home. With the exception of Chloe, Sabrina, and the rest of her female classmates, Juelka was a quiet and reserved girl, but Nera got along well with her and they were close friends. She actually thought the girl was nice when Chloe wasn't around, but when she was the spoiled girl's servant, and the thought of it made her sick. Class eventually started, and they were introduced to their new teacher, Miss Bustier. However, during the lesson, Ivan became angry with Kim for giving him a note, and he nearly hit him, which made Nera frown. Kim reminded her of Kiba in a way, and she felt sorry for Ivan when he was sent to the principal's office. She wasn't sure why, but she had a bad feeling that something terrible was about to happen soon. Meanwhile, in a secret place, negative emotions, "This is perfect, just what I need, anger, sadness," he says with an evil smirk on his face as a white butterfly lands in the palm of one of his hands and he covers it with his other hand, turning it into a black-purple butterfly. "Burn a hole into his heart, my horrible Akuma," he says, holding a dark purple cane with a purple gemstone on top of it. He is wearing a dark purple dress shirt without a collar, a darker purple jacket with a black butterfly-shaped lapel, and dress pants in the same shade as the jacket. He utters the terrible words, "Fly away my little Akuma," and evil eyes him. "Hey Naru, why don't you come over my place this weekend? The new horror movie is gonna be playing on TV, she asked, making Naru smile. "Sure, I love to, I'll even bring by some of those snacks from last time," she said cheerfully, making Juelka smile with happiness as they headed to study hall at the library. Her brother Luca also enjoyed having her around, and he even had a crush on her since last year. She even knew that Naru had feelings for her brother, but she was too shy to tell him. She loved spending time with Naru because she was so kind to her and didn't care that she was quiet and shy. She even stood up for her when Chloe was making fun of her once, even risking her job for it. The same black butterfly flies into the school on the way to the library, heading straight for Ivan, who is holding the same note that Kim gave him. As it flies inside, a pinkish butterfly-like mask covers his face, and he hears a voice saying, "Stoneheart, I am Hawk Moth, I give you the power, go seek revenge on those who have wronged you," as Ivan smiles evilly. Principal Damocles, who was waiting for Ivan to knock on his door to enter his office, became impatient and said, "Well, come on in," before the door broke down and Ivan, who was now Stoneheart, appeared at the doorway as a giant rock-like monster. "Okay, Hawk Moth," he says, and then he is surrounded by a black purplish bubble-like aura that completely changes him. Kim, with a furious yell, he bursts through the wall of the office. After hearing that, Naru and the others hurried outside to observe what was happening, with Marinette, Juelka, and the new girl Alya standing next to her. "Kim!" Stoneheart yells out again and throws a car after picking it up and runs away. "Was that Ivan?" Naru asked with shock. "So cool," Juelka says with a grin on her face as everyone left the school as the day was cancelled due to this incident. So Naru rushes home and goes to Adrian's bedroom, who heard the noises too and goes outside to see what was going on along with Naru. "What in the world is going on?" "I have no idea. I was at school for 1 minute and the next thing I know Ivan, my classmate, turns into a giant rock monster," Naru said, uncertain of what was happening as she and Adrian returned inside, confused of what to do. He asked her, leaving Naru uncertain as well. When they both saw the two odd boxes on Adrian's coffee table, they said, "Why are they here?" They both asked simultaneously, glancing at one another before grabbing one of the boxes. Nero opened hers, and it appeared to hold a necklace with a black bead and red lines in the center. Adrian's box has black rings with a green cat paw print in the center. Suddenly, two little balls of light appear, one green and one red. The green light transforms into a tiny red dragon, and the other into a small black cat with green eyes. A dragon? "I am quite sorry for my fellow Kwame's behavior, miss. I am your Kwame. It's a pleasure to meet you, young miss," he said politely and kindly to Neru as the little black cat yawned a little. "Wow, cool, it's like the genies from the lamps," Adrian said, stretching Plag. "I met him once, so he grants wishes, big deal. I'm way more personable. Plag, nice to meet you," he said, before flying around trying to eat and touch everything he saw inside Adrian's bedroom. "We still don't know what you're doing here," Adrian says, and Plag sighs. "Look, we are Kwames, we grant powers," he says, causing Neru to tilt her head slightly. "Yours is the power of destruction, while long over there is the power of perfection." Neru quickly shakes out of her shock just as Adrian catches Plag. She said to Long, who turned to face her and grinned, "Yes, that's right. It essentially gives you the ability to change into 3 other elements: wind, lightning, or water. After using up all 3, you have 5 minutes to switch back. Do you have any questions?" he questioned her, causing Neru to turn to face the devastation Stoneheart had caused outside. The 2 miraculous transformations occur a few minutes later when she puts on the necklace and Adrian puts on the ring. Adrian's ring changes into a silver hue, and Neru's necklace transforms into a little blue crystal with the Japanese character for dragon on it. What caused the change in appearance? Well, each miraculous has a camouflage appearance which takes on a different look depending on the wielder, Long tells Neru as she examines herself in the mirror. "Now of course you two won't be alone, you'll be working alongside the new wielder of the Ladybug Miraculous as well. Now to activate your miraculous, young miss, you must say Long, bring the storm," he says with a smile on his face, which causes Neru to smile back. "Long, bring the storm," Neru says, and then she changes. The top half of her costume was red and black, with black gloves on her hands and golden trim around it. Her hair gets red highlights, and she wears a face mask with 4 red dragon-like horns. At the bottom, she has a red shirt skirt, black leggings, and red ballet slippers on her feet. At the bottom, she has a red sword strapped to her back, and her eyes and eye holes turn golden like a dragon. The top half of her costume is similar to Ryuko's from Miraculous Ladybug, but the bottom half is different. When she saw that Adrian had also finished changing into a black cat superhero, she smiled, and they both smiled before leaving through the window and heading in the direction of Stoneheart. Neru had been using her ninja skills to hop from rooftop to rooftop when she saw that Adrian had wrapped himself in a Ladybug superhero's yo-yo. She then jumped down and sat on the street light that they were tied to, saying, My kitty making new friends already?" Jokingly, Neru asked him, then released them both and hopped down in front of them, smiling at them both. "Nice to meet ya, I'm Ryuheim," she grins and says to her, "and I'm Cat Noir." He tries to reassemble the yo-yo and hits Neru in the head by accident. I'm super clumsy," she says to them, causing Neru to laugh and rub the area where she was hit. "It's fine, it's our first day after all," she adds cheerfully, but then they hear a crashing noise, and Cat Noir continues, "Where do you think you're going, kitty cat?" "To save pears, of course," he replied with a smile on his face when Neru asked him in a half-serious and half-joking tone. Ryoheim sighed and glanced at her fellow heroine, smiling carelessly. "Come on, we better go make sure he doesn't get himself killed," she said to her, causing Marinette to nod her head and grudgingly follow her. "Get out of here, it's not safe," Ryoheim tells Stoneheart as Kim doesn't need to be reminded twice and runs away from the scene. When they arrive at the soccer arena, they find Stoneheart destroying everything in an attempt to get his hands on Kim. Nera draws her sword and uses her ninja speed and the fast speed work she received when she started learning ballet to strike Stoneheart with her sword to get him to release Kim. Everything is going to plan. Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous has been activated along with the Dragon Miraculous, Hawk Moth said evilly as he watched Alia nearly get struck by a soccer net, causing Ryoheim to gasp. Wind Dragon. Hawk Moth could see everything through Stoneheart's eyes while Cat Noir and Ryoheim were fighting. "That's a strange item it gave you, but then again I guess anything can be used as a lucky charm," Neru shrugs. She yells and transforms into a huge gust of wind, which helps her get Alia to safety up in the stadium stands. "Stay here, it'll be safe," she tells her. At that point, Ladybug leaps down and activates her lucky charm, a diving suit. After looking around, Ladybug gets an idea and notices that one of Stoneheart's hands is always closed, concealing something. She then puts a hose inside the diving suit, which causes Ryoheim to look at her questioningly. "All right, Ryoheim, I have an idea. Are you ready?" "I'm sorry about this, kitty," she said, making her smile. "Always," she replied, and she explained her plan. "Sorry about this, kitty," Ryoheim said, apologizing to Neru, who then grabbed him and threw him at Stoneheart, who caught him with one free hand. Ladybug then leaped up, and he caught her with his closed hand, dropping the object that contained the Akuma. "Turn on the faucet," when Ladybug yells, she nods her head and rushes to the tap, turning it on. The diver's suit then blows up, releasing her, and she rushes towards the object, stomping on it to release the Akuma and restore Ivan to normal. "All right. That was awesome," Neru exclaims with joy and leaps to them. "All three of us made a great team," Ryoheim tells them, smiling. "Pound it," they all say at the same time, pounding their fists together. At that moment, Cat Noir's ring begins to beep. "Oh, that's our cue, gotta go, see ya later, Bug, look forward to doing this again with ya," Ryoheim calls out to her before departing with Cat Noir. The following day, while Long was contentedly eating some dragon fruit, Neru was busy folding laundry and putting them away in her maid uniform. Neru grinned and said, "I can't believe it, that was amazing, all three of us was an amazing team," to Adrian with excitement. However, she noticed that Plag wasn't eating the food she had brought from the kitchen, so she asked, "Hey Plag, aren't you hungry?" When Long noticed this, he said to him, "Now Plag, don't be picky, our owners prepared us some wonderful food," which caused the black cat Kwame to turn to them. "I thought Kwames needed food after fighting," Neru asked him inquisitively. He tells them, "I'm going to need something light if I'm going to eat," which causes Adrian and Neru to glance at one another before turning back to Plag. "All right, what do you want to eat?" "Well, at least someone likes that stinky cheese we have in the kitchen," Neru remarks, silently sighing as he stares at this sight. Plag smiles at them when Neru asks him this. A few minutes later, Neru returns with some camembert cheese, and Plag starts to eat. Long says to her, "Neru, you should come see this," and she heads to the television to watch the news report about individuals becoming frozen statues that resemble Stoneheart. "What's going on? Did you catch the Akuma?" Neru exclaimed in disbelief, and the two Kwames turned to face the two blondes, concurrently, they questioned them, "What do you mean by capturing the Akuma?" Naru asked them, and Long started explaining that Akumas can multiply and that's why they had to be captured, because once Ivan gets akumatized again, the rock monsters will become his army. And what's more, only Ladybug can capture the Akumas, no other miraculous possesses that power, Plag tells them, and Naru scoffs at that. She touches her miraculous with Long on her shoulder and looks out the window with a determined expression on her face. "So, Adrian, we simply need to make sure that we catch it the next time so that we don't repeat the same error." With a smile on her face, Naru turns to face her best friend, who nods and smiles as they beat their fists together. After finishing her breakfast dishes and watching the news about the stone beings in Paris the following day, Naruto put away the last plate and turned off the television with Long floating beside her. "Everything will be okay, don't worry, the first chance we get we will help Ladybug capture the Akuma," Long assures her, causing Naru to turn to her Kwame and nod her head in agreement. It was then that she noticed Adrian sneaking into the kitchen and taking some camembert so he could give it to Plag as he slipped off to school. "You're going to try to sneak into school again, aren't you?" Naru asks with a slight smirk. "Yes, I'm just tired of being locked up all the time, Naru. I want to go to school and make real friends aside from you, Naru," Naru asked him with a knowing look on her face, causing Adrian to turn to her and nod his head. "Oh my, I feel my heart is breaking and I thought what we had was special, Adrian," he said in a dramatic manner, and she and he then laughed as Plag and Long looked on. "Here you go, I'll see you at school once I change out of my work uniform," Naru says, pulling out some camembert and giving him a couple pieces to give to Plag. Her friend smiles and departs with Plag. While Long hides under her hat and she gets ready for school, she turns to Naru and smiles at the blonde girl. "Adrian is so lucky to have you as a friend, Naru," he says to her, causing Naru to smile softly. "I think I'm the lucky one. I've never had a real friend before until I met Adrian, although I have to admit he's more than just a friend, he's like a brother to me," Naru tells him. After changing into her regular clothes, she walks to school while listening to music on her phone through headphones. The song she was listening to was "Out for Love" from Hazbin Hotel, one of her favorite shows. Her favorite character is Carmela Cardmine, who actually sparked Naru's interest in ballet because she thought it was cool when she used it to fight, so Naru decided to learn it for herself. "I have to admit, kid, it was pretty smart of you to start learning ballet. I had my doubts at first, but after seeing how it made you even more flexible and gave you an increase in your stamina as well," Kurama says to her, getting her to smile. "See, most of my ideas are good," Naru tells him as she arrives at school and notices Marinette looking a little dejected. "Are you okay, Mari?" The young lady turned to face Naru when he asked her in a worried manner. "Yeah, I'm fine, just got some stuff on my mind right now," she replied, causing Naru to frown and silently stare at her. "Well, okay, but if you need to talk, I'm here, okay, don't keep things inside," Naru tells her, causing Marinette to smile appreciatively. "Check this out, you two," she says, showing them her new blog, Ladyblog, bringing you all the latest news about the coolest superhero Ladybug. Naru looks at it and smiles. "Wow, that's so cool, Alia. You had just posted that video you have taken of Ladybug and it's already gotten so many views. I can tell this blog is gonna be a big hit," Naru tells her friend. Alia smiles back, and they converse for a while before Naru notices Ivan marching towards the locker room after Chloe says something to him, prompting her to mentally note to leave frogs and green paint bombs in her locker later. As Long peeks through her hoodie bag, Naru says, "Hey, you two go on ahead, I'm going to check on Ivan real quick," and then she heads towards the locker room. Naru, Ivan is upset right now. If he doesn't calm down then he'll be akumatized. You have to get him to stay calm quickly, he tells her, causing her to nod her head. Don't worry long, I already know what to do, she says, and she enters the room, where she finds Ivan sitting on the floor playing music. You know Ivan, you should tell Mylene how you feel about her, Naru says, causing him to look away from her. I don't know what you're talking about, he says to her, causing her to giggle a little and nudging his shoulder a little. Oh come on, I've seen the way you look at her, she says, winking at him, making him look down feeling a little embarrassed as she rubs his back. Naru sits down next to him, not caring if she gets her skirt dirty because she touches his arm, making him notice she was there. Ivan lets out a little sigh and responds, "It doesn't matter, I'm so bad with words anyway," which causes Naru to shrug a little. Hey, it's okay, you don't have to be so down about it. After all, there's nothing wrong with liking a girl, and I think Mylene may feel the same way about you as well, she says to him in an attempt to cheer him up. There are alternative ways to express your feelings for someone, such as buying her flowers, making her some chocolate, or writing her a love letter. Naru started listing the first few things that Ivan could say to Mylene about his feelings for her that came to mind. Could I compose a song for her? That's perfect, she'll love that for sure, go for it Ivan, you got this, I'm cheering for you, he says, causing Naru to smile and sit back up as Long appears beside her. Great job, Naru, not only did you prevent Ivan from getting akumatized, you also helped him with encouraging him to confess to Mylene, he says to her, causing Naru to smile softly. Of course, Ivan may seem big and mean, he's actually a real sweetheart who wouldn't hurt a fly. He and Mylene are perfect for each other, Naru says to Long, who smiles back at her before disappearing back into her hoodie. Then, as she exits the locker room, she bumps into Luca by accident, which makes her jump a little. Oh my gosh Luca, you startled me, Naru tells him, trying not to blush. Oh, if it's not my kid's future mate, tell me when the wedding is? Shut up fuzzball before I turn your area into a 5-year-old girl's bedroom again, all pink with fairies and princesses, and you wearing a nice pretty dress, Kurama questioned her, causing Naru to give him a mental stare. Naru's warning instantly silenced him. Sorry, I didn't see you coming. Jules told me you're coming over this weekend, right? Luca says with a smile. Naru looks away slightly to conceal her blush as he says, I'm glad we haven't hung out with each other in a while. Yeah, sorry about that, my job can get pretty busy, plus I had a dance recital I had to prepare for as well, but things are now calming down again so I can hang out once more as well. I really miss spending time with you guys as well, Naru confessed to Luca, wearing a small smile and feeling her heart race a little. He tells her, it's okay, I know I have a job too, so I understand it, anyways I better get back to my class, it was nice seeing you, and leaves for his own classroom. Naru stands motionless for a few seconds and puts her hands to her heart, feeling it beat a mile an hour. She had never fallen in love before, so it felt wonderful. She smiles to herself and leaves for class while Long is in her bag. He smiles to himself as he notices how his owner looks at that boy and mentally notes that they should get back together. Naru was about to head to class when her phone rang. She paused, took it out, and saw that it was Natalie on the other end. Hello. Naru, Adrian is going to school today, please keep an eye on him and make sure he's safe, she says on the phone, which makes Naru smile because she knows how much Natalie loves Adrian and treats him like her own child. Of course, I promise I'll make sure nothing happens to him, Naru tells her on the phone before hanging up. When she finally arrives at her class, she finds Adrian there, sitting next to Nino. She notices that Marinette is irritated, so she sits down next to Juelka and leans in close, asking, what happened? Why does Marinette appear irritated? Apparently, Chloe put gum on Marinette's seat, and when the new kid tried to get it off, Marinette thought he was the one who put the gum on her seat. Still, I can't believe he's friends with Chloe, she said to her friend, who leaned in close and whispered back to her. Neru sighed wearily. As Julika didn't seem surprised, Neru whispers back to her, honestly, I'm surprised too. Adrian has the patience of a saint with her because she was his childhood friend since they were babies, and so because of that I guess he must see a side of her that even I don't know about. But seriously, even Adrian's patience has limits, and one of these days she's going to royally fuck up and she's going to lose Adrian forever. When their teacher called their names, they called out their names, and Ivan broke through the wall, yelling, Mylene. After shouting, he approaches her, seizes her and Chloe, and departs with them. I'm guessing the love confession must have gone well if he got akumatized again, Long says with a frown, causing Neru to sigh and smile. That's okay Long, this time we can finally put this to rest by helping Ladybug with capturing the Akuma, Neru tells him, grinning. As everyone starts to panic, Neru and Adrian both glance at one another, nod at one another, and leave the classroom to use the restrooms. She yells, Long bring the storm, and instantly changes into a different person. She smiles as she does this and goes outside to meet up with Cat Noir, who was kidnapped by one of the many stone creatures. She leaps down and uses her elegant movement to reach him quickly, kicking him to the ground and forcing him to release Cat Noir just as Ladybug arrives. Ladybug tells them, we need to head to the Eiffel Tower. If we capture the Akuma from Stoneheart then we can reverse the damage, and Ryoheim nods her head in agreement, knowing she was correct. About time Bug, Ryoheim tells her with a smile on her face. Perfect timing milady, Cat Noir says, bowing to her slightly. She's so lucky Adrian cares about her, because if she didn't then I would drop her on her ass or let her go splat on the concrete, Ryoheim thinks to herself as she puts Chloe down and runs to her father while wiping the imaginary germs of Chloe off of herself. They were able to catch up with Stoneheart, who threw her down, and Ryoheim runs over to her, catches her, and saves her. Stoneheart then spits up some black butterflies, all of which transform into someone's head. Ladybug, Cat Noir, and Ryoheim, I am Hawk Moth, he declares to them, causing the three heroes to gape at him. Hawk Moth, with a smirk on her face, Ryoheim responds, yeah right Hawk Moth, like we would fall for that for a second, after they all say simultaneously, you three have caused so much damage and harm to the people of Paris, surrender your miraculous to me at once, otherwise these people will continue to suffer. Furthermore, we are aware of the true issue here, and none of the three of us will ever give up to you. We will battle until the day we expose you and force you to give up your miracle, Ladybug declared, and then she used her yo-yo to catch the Akumas, releasing them as they transformed into white butterflies, causing everyone to cheer. Cat Noir, on the other hand, stared at her in wonder. Whoever she is, I love that girl Ryoheim, he said to her, causing her to smirk slightly. I'll make sure to remember that for blackmail later, she said in a playful tone, which caused his face to flush bright red and made Ryoheim laugh. Lucky charm, when Ladybug yells, she calls forth a parachute. A parachute? Since Ryoheim genuinely believed that Mylene and Ivan were a good match and were destined to be together, she frowns and says, you know, a love letter or something like that would probably be better in this situation to bring these two closer together. As she tells her, Ryoheim nods her head. Oh, don't worry, bringing them together is part of my plan, but your powers also come in plan, Ryoheim, because once we break the object containing the Akuma they will turn back to normal and end up falling, so I need you to use the wind dragon technique and help Cat Noir catch them, she says. and Ryoheim responds with a wink. Then they begin working. In order to get Stoneheart to release the paper containing the Akuma, Ryoheim climbed up with Cat Noir and Ladybug. They were able to catch Mylene as she was falling and get him to release the paper. Ladybug crushed the paper, which released the Akuma. After that, Ivan returned to normal, and he and Mylene started to fall. Wind Dragon, Ryoheim yells, turns into the wind, and speeds in their direction. She manages to grab Mylene, transforms into her solid form, and lands on the ground safely with her. Meanwhile, Cat Noir captures Ivan and safely lowers him to the ground, and Ladybug uses the parachute and descends safely as well. She then fixes everything by catching the Akuma and tossing the lucky charm into the air. Ryoheim then smiles and gives Ivan the love song he wrote, saying, "I think Mylene should be the one to read the song you wrote for her this time," which Mylene did. "They really are so cute together," Long tells her, making her laugh. "They truly are," Neru says, holding her books close to her chest as she heads to class. As she does so, she notices Adrien staring at Marinette, who is still giving him a death glare, and she smiles at him. "Adrien, if you want to make more friends, then do the right thing and clear up the misunderstandings with her, alright," Neru tells her friend, winking, and leaves for class. Neru noticed it was raining after school ended, so she grabbed her umbrella and started to walk home. However, as she was walking, a gust of wind blew her umbrella out of her hands, causing it to fall into a puddle. She hurried to retrieve it, but a smiling Luca grabbed it off the ground and put it over her head once more. "Here," he said, making her blush and smile, and she accepted it. "Thank you, Luca," she said to him once more, feeling her heart pounding. "If you want, you can come over my place and dry off." "Sure, thanks, I appreciate it," Neru tells him, and she uses the umbrella to keep them both dry as they walk back to his house together. His offer makes her blush even more. Master Fu watched Neru with ways during this time. "You were right, Master, she is a good choice for the Dragon Miraculous," he tells him, causing Fu to smile subtly. "Indeed, and you were right too about me being too old to continue this. That girl down there, not only will she provide strength for them, but she will also be able to help them become full-fledged heroes, and possibly for me a worthy successor as well," he says to Waze as he leaves with the turtle Kwame. Luca, meanwhile, is happy to be this close to the girl, who is like a song that never stops playing in his heart and mind. On a pleasant, sunny day in Paris, Neru had completed her work-related tasks for the day, which allowed her to spend the remainder of the day alone. Normally, she would play video games with Adrien or something similar, but since her friend was participating in another modeling shoot today, she chose to visit the Liberty ship and spend time with Luca and Juelka instead. As she gestures for the dragon Kwame to hide in her hoodie pocket and enters the boat house, Neru says to Long, "Ah, it's a wonderful day today, a good day to have some fun and relax," her smile making Neru laugh and nod her head in agreement. "Yeah, I agree, I've been so busy lately with my job and being Ryoheim, it's hard to find some time to spend with Juelka and Luca," Neru says to Long. "Luca? Is it me, Juelka?" "Down here, Neru," Juelka calls out to Neru, who descends to the lower levels of the boat house and finds the twins watching the final results for the new Weather Girl on Kids TV. "The one who's probably going to win is Mireille," Neru tells her friends as she sits in the center next to Luca, forcing her to cover her blush. "Kit, you still haven't expressed your feelings to him," she sighed inwardly as Kurama responded, "Unfortunately no, I want to but I just don't know how," confessing to him that she wished things weren't so difficult. She sees the Weather Girl present results at that point, and she believes Mireille won. "Knew it," So what do you guys want to do now? She asks. As Juelka looks at her brother and Neru, knowing they both had feelings for one another, Neru asks them inquisitively. With a wink, she says, "Hey, I just remembered I gotta go meet up with Rose with something, why don't you go ahead and maybe spend some time together," and walks away. After she leaves, Luca and Neru sit quietly for a while before Luca interrupts to ask, "Would you like to visit the park?" She blushed when he asked her, but Neru smiled and said, "Sure, I love to," and they went away together. Neru laughed as Luca told her a joke, and he also told her about some new songs he was working on. As she strolls around, she sees Adrian completing his routine picture shoot and that Marinette, Alia, and Manon are present. "Oh Marinette," as she and Luca approach them, Neru shouts out to her and waves. "Hey Neru, wait, I thought you had work today," as Neru shrugs, Marinette remarks, "I always finish my work early so I can have some time for myself. I just have to make sure I get it right the first time because if I don't, I'll have to start all over again, which is basically a nuisance. Plus I have no fencing or ballet today, so I have an entire day for some fun." Neru smiles softly as she speaks to her friend before noticing Manon. "It looks like you have a lot going on today. Are you babysitting again?" As Manon wanted to purchase a balloon, Neru asked her companion inquisitively, laughing, "She's a lively one, isn't she?" As Neru and Luca turned to face Alia, Neru asked her friend, causing Marinette to sigh a little. "I'll be right back," she said to them before heading to buy the balloon. "She seems like she's had her hands full, doesn't she?" Luca questioned Alia, who nodded her head and smiled. Neru and Luca noticed that Alia was telling them, "Yeah, Marinette has a problem saying no these things, not to mention she's struggling with Manon as well. She kind of reminds me of these 3 kids who I used to play with in the village I grew up in. I miss them so much. They used to follow me around and call me boss. It was actually really cute," Neru says, laughing, but then she feels a chill in the air and rubs her arms a little. "Is it just me or does it feel kind of cold all of a sudden? I guess I'm feeling kinda hungry now, I haven't eaten lunch yet," Neru confessed to her friends, Luca. "Hey, there's a pretzel stand over there, I can buy you one if you want." Neru asked her friends, "I kinda feel a bit cold, it's odd though it's so nice out today," Alia said to them, making Neru frown, thinking this is strange when her stomach growled in hunger. He offered, causing Neru to turn to face him with a smile of gratitude. Neru tells him, "Thanks Luca, you're a real lifesaver," and they proceed to the pretzel stand where Luca purchased one for her. After paying for it, Neru discreetly gives Long a piece, which he eats with joy. "I'll make sure to pay you back for the pretzel next time," Neru tells him as she starts to eat her pretzel, which tastes delicious in her mouth. Luca smiles at her and says, "Don't worry, you don't have to pay me back. I'm just glad to finally have a chance to spend time with you. I really miss you," which makes Neru blush. "I honestly miss you as well. I'm sorry I've been so busy lately. I will try to make sure I have more time to spend with you and Jules because you two along with everyone else in my life are my most precious people," Neru tells him earnestly, grinning softly, ignoring the fact that her own heart is about to leap out of her chest. Luca was about to say something when a blast of ice was hurled at them, and he pushed her away and onto the ground to protect her because they were so close. Neru and Luca both blushed at that point, and Neru realized that not only was the area where the merry-go-round was frozen solid, but also that the new villain was laughing and flying away while holding the parasol in her hands. "Sorry about that, are you okay?" Luca asks as he helps her up. He asked her with concern and Neru blushes and nods her head yes. "Yeah, I'm okay thanks Luca," Neru says, and then she noticed Alia and Manon was trapped inside the ice dome. Alia. Manon. This Is bad, don't worry, I'll go find Ladybug and Cat Noir and Ryuheim for help. Naru yells and rushes over to them, spotting Alya and Manon trapped. Luca turns to face her and says, I'll stay here and help. Alya keeps Manon calm, which causes Naru to nod her head and rush over as she hides behind a building, looks around, and takes Long out of her pocket. She tells the dragon Kwame, Long, it's time to change. Bring on the storm. When Naru yells, she changes into Ryuheim. Gotta go meet up with the cat and bug and put an end to Little Miss Ice Queen, Ryuheim exclaims as she leaps onto the rooftop, where she discovers Ladybug and Cat Noir being carried away by stormy weather's gust of wind. Ryuheim leaps forward and captures them both. Are you two alright? Thanks for stopping by, Miss Dragon Lady, Ryuheim asked them both with concern, and she put them down on the ground after landing gracefully. I like to think of it as more as popping in, Ryuheim said to him, laughing. Glad you're here, Ryuheim. Stormy weather is already making a mess, and we can use all the help we can get to stop her, Ladybug said to her, and Ryuheim smiled back at her. Well, I'm glad you both believe and trust in me so much, I'm honored, but Kitty Cat and I both know as can't beat the villain without you capturing the Akuma, Ryuheim said to her, making Ladybug smile. In any case, I already suspect that I know who Stormy Weather is. You both watched the new Weather Girl's findings on TV today, don't you? With a serious expression on her face, Ryuheim addresses her pals. Well, the one who lost seemed pretty upset, and we all know how someone who's upset like that makes perfect targets for Hawk Moth. You're right, and that means she's most likely laying low at the TV studio, Ladybug tells them as they're running there. Hello viewers, here's the latest forecast for this first day of summer. Looks like Mother Nature had a change and planned summer vacation is officially over, she says on the TV screen, pointing to France on a map that now has a snowflake on it. Already, but I look so good in a swimsuit, Cat Noir says, giving Ryuheim and Ladybug winks, causing both female heroes to give him a playful smile. The cat suit is fine, thank you, Ladybug tells him, causing Ryuheim to giggle. Yes, I agree, Ryuheim responds. They then head to the TV station where they thought she was, but the recording studio they thought she was in was empty, showing only a phone playing a video. Shit, it's a trap, Ryuheim swore. They turned to see Stormy Weather laughing and destroying the lights so Ladybug couldn't see. Nevertheless, Ryuheim and Cat Noir both possessed night vision, so they asked, Ladybug, are you okay? After Stormy Weather, she, Cat Noir, and Ladybug rush to the rooftop after Ryuheim warns her to hang on tight. She's heading to the roof. She tells them both, you two fools, you fall right for my trap, which causes Ryuheim to roll her eyes. Oh my, how could we have ever known? Yeah, no kidding, Ice Queen, Ryuheim taunts her, growling and attempting to freeze her before Ryuheim uses one of the elements, Lightning Dragon. Ryuheim yells and uses it to transform into lightning, electrocuting Stormy Weather and causing her to quiver somewhat. Ryuheim then returns to her natural self and battles Stormy Weather with her sword, employing the elegant balletic maneuvers she mastered. You had better make the most of this opportunity and apply your fortunate charm, Bug. Ladybug knew she was right, and Ryuheim informs her, lucky charm. What am I supposed to do with this? Ladybug exclaims, yo-yo in hand, as a towel materializes. It's okay, we'll be doomed, but at least we'll be dry, Ladybug says bewilderedly. He assists Ryuheim in battling Stormy Weather, giving her time to come up with a plan. With the aid of the lucky charm and Ryuheim and Cat Noir, they were able to obtain the parasol and break it, freeing the Akuma. No more evil doing for you, little Akuma, Ladybug says, opening up her yo-yo. She says, Time to the evil eyes, and uses it to trap the Akuma. Gotcha, she says, and then releases the purified butterfly. Bye bye little butterfly, she adds, before launching her lucky charm into the air and exclaiming, miraculous ladybug. She yells out, and then the magical ladybugs turns everything back to normal. Even stormy weather, who was now back to being Aurora again. What am I doing here? She inquired bewilderedly as Ryuheim, Cat Noir, and Ladybug gave each other fist bumps. Pound it, they all said at once. After a few minutes, Ryuheim returns to her normal self and gives Long a dragon fruit-flavored macaroon. Alright, let's head back to the park to see everyone, Nara tells her Kwame, and Long smiles back at her. I'm sure they are, since Luca was there. That boy is very good at these types of situations, she tells her, and she rushes back to the park where Adrian is now doing a photo shoot with Manon. Marinette appears dissatisfied, but Alia consoles her. Nero rushes next to Luca and stands beside him, and she gives him a questioning look. He gives her a don't ask smile, and she just nods her head as they both left the scene. As she wrapped Adrian's gift that morning, Nero was singing and grinning. Oh, I hope he'll enjoy it, Long, what do you think? Is Adrian likely to enjoy it? While Long smiles at her, Nero asks her Kwame nervously, I'm sure he will love whatever you give him. It will also be better than what Plague is giving him as a gift, causing her to laugh. When Nero laughs and says, true, I don't think Adrian is gonna want stinky cheese as a birthday present, she looks at her phone to discover that Marinette has messaged her to let her know that the cake she ordered for Adrian's birthday is ready and can be picked up after school. He tells her, it's also nice that you were able to convince Adrian's father to let you at least order Adrian a birthday cake for his birthday today, since he said no about the birthday party, which causes Nara to sigh a little. Yeah, although I'm not surprised he said no, I would actually be more surprised if he said yes, Nara tells him, realizing that Long was correct. Later, Nara exits her bedroom still wearing her favorite skirt and sweatshirt, not her maid uniform, because she has school this morning and has completed the chores she needs to accomplish today. When Long was hiding in her hoodie pocket, she went to the dining room and grinned at Adrian. Nara then brought the wrapped gift she had bought him from behind her back. Happy birthday, Adrian, she said cheerfully, causing Adrian's eyes to light up as he accepted the gift. Thank you, Nara, he said to her, tearing off the wrapping paper from the gift and discovering that she had given him a cute ladybug wallet that reminded him of Nara's frog wallet Gama-chan. As Nara proudly pulls out her wallet and shows it to him, she says, look, now we match, which makes Adrian laugh and adore the gift. Thank you, Nara, I love it, he says to his best friend and sister figure, making her very happy. The wallet was red with black spots, antennas, googly eyes, and little black legs. The mouth was where he could put the money. After that, Nara has a hurried breakfast before they leave for school. She chose to pick up Adrian's birthday cake during lunch because she was so excited about it. Nara goes to her locker after they get to the school and gets her books for the next class. When she closes her locker, she sees Luca. Hey Nara, he says, making her flush. Oh Luca, hey how are you today? He smiled at her as she tried to still her beating heart. I'm fine. Did Adrian like the gift you got him? She inquired that he asked her if he could help her find the ideal birthday present for Adrian because Nara had informed him that Adrian's father usually gives him a fountain pen on his birthday. Luca agreed to help her choose something special for Adrian, and they had a great time together. Nara smiles and says to him, yeah, he sure did, thanks again for helping me choose a gift for him. I'm so glad he loves it, which makes Luca happy. I'm glad he did, and it's no problem Nara, I had fun spending the day with you. As a matter of fact, this weekend, would you like to go to the movies with me? Like a date or as friends? Luca remarked, causing Neru to flush. Neru questioned him, her face turning a deeper shade of scarlet. Like going on a date, if you're up for it. Luca is pleased to hear that the girl he has had his eye on for some time agrees to go on a date with him. Great, then I'll pick you up on Saturday evening around 5. Sound good? He asked her, and Neru felt like she was screaming with excitement inside. Sure, I love to, Neru tells him, feeling happy that he questioned her, causing Neru to flush and nod in agreement, which pleased Luca. He tells her, great, looking forward to it, and leaves Neru alone as he leaves for class. Alia and Marinette both cheered and gave Neru a hug upon realizing that she had been crushing on Luca for a long time. Oh my gosh, congratulations girl. When Alia says this to her, Neru smiles and says, thanks, oh my gosh, if I'm dreaming, please don't wake me up. Neru sounds so delighted that she hugs her books closer to herself, which is when she realizes Marinette is holding a gift. Is that for Adrien, Mari? Yeah, I tried giving it to him this morning but I messed up and Chloe bumped me out of the way too, she inquired, causing Marinette to groan. Neru smiled at her while giving her friend a sympathetic back rub. As Alia and Marinette realized she was correct, Neru frowns and says to her friends, yeah, Chloe is the worst. When I first started working as a maid for Adrien's family, I had the unfortunate pleasure of always seeing her. I'm actually surprised with how patient Adrien is with her. She has no idea how much he always defends her, but one of these days his patience is gonna run out and she's gonna lose him forever. Marinette's face flushes bright red as she says, you're correct about that, but you know Marinette, you always have a chance to give Adrien the gift over lunch. Oh, but what if I botch up again? Neru, can't you do it for me please? Marinette asked, causing Neru to shake her head in response. Both of her friends are perplexed when Neru tells them, sorry Mari, but you should be the one to deliver it to him. Besides, I won't be going straight home during our lunch break anyways since I'm stopping by your parents' bakery to pick up the birthday cake for Adrien tonight. Marinette says, wait, I thought Adrien's dad said no to having a birthday party. Marinette nods her head in agreement as Neru tells her, he did, but I was able to persuade him to at least have a birthday cake for Adrien and he agreed to it. Anyway, we should get to class, Neru says to her friends, grinning as they all walk together and head to their first period class. Later in the afternoon, Long emerges from Neru's hoodie and smiles at her. Congratulations on getting asked out by Luca, I'm so happy for you, Neru, he says to her, and she smiles back at her Kwame. Thanks, Long, I'm so happy too, but also extremely nervous. I've never been on a date before, let alone ever been asked out by a guy, Neru tells him, causing Kurama to laugh. Neru and Luca sitting in a tree Kissing, he sings in her head, causing her eye to twitch in annoyance. Oh, be quiet, you fur ball, Neru says to him angrily, letting him know she was speaking to the Kyubi inside of her. He was actually relieved that Plag and Kurama didn't get along because he could only imagine the mayhem and devastation they would cause if they were friends. The thought of Plag and Kurama fighting centuries ago and causing the lost city of Atlantis to sink into the ground sent a chill down his spine. As Long lands in the palm of her hands, she brings him close to her face and he nuzzles it. Thank you Long, I'm so glad you're my Kwame. You're not just my Kwame, you're my friend, she says to him as they depart together and continue their journey to the bakery. Either way Neru, you just need to be yourself. Luca likes you for you, so be yourself and have fun, he tells her, making Neru smile. Oh hey Neru, Marinette is upstairs if you want to see her, says Marinette's father as they arrive, and Neru smiles at him. Thanks Mr. DePaincheng, I'm actually not here to see Marinette, I'm just here to pick up the birthday cake I had ordered for Adrian's birthday today, Neru tells him, immediately understanding what she means. Oh right that, it's all ready to go right here, he says to her, grabbing the cake box with the cake inside. Neru smiles, opens her purse, takes out her priceless wallet, and leaves. Thanks Mr. DePaincheng, have a nice day, she says to him before returning to the Agresti mansion when she notices some enormous green bubbles floating outside and discovers, to her horror, that Marinette's parents are trapped in them. Hey today's your lucky day little dudes, the adults are taking the day off so make the most of it, no chores, no homework, no more nagging, just fun, the bubbler tells to all the children in Paris, making Neru's eyes widen in horror as she instantly identifies the villain. Nino. Oh no, this is bad Marinette's parents and everyone else, Neru says in a horrified tone that makes Long look anxious as well. Oh no, she says, drawing a serious expression on her face, she pulls out a sealing scroll and seals the cake away. Then, she turns to face Long and they plunge into an alleyway. Let's get to work, Long, she tells him. Long bring the storm, Neru yells and changes into her costume and hero alter ego Ryuheim. She finds Ladybug on the rooftops after changing, and she smiles and says, "Hey there, Bug, ready to crash a party?" "Thought you'd never ask," she asks, causing Ladybug to smile back at her. They then proceed to the Agresti estate, where they discover that the bubbler was hosting a birthday celebration for Adrian and had compelled all of their classmates to attend, causing Ryuheim to scowl. Ladybug suppresses a laugh when she says bluntly, "This party is more dead than a cemetery." It is, and that bubble wand that he uses that's going to be where the Akuma is, Ladybug tells Ryuheim, causing her to smirk slightly. "Funny, I was thinking the same thing, are you sure you're not a mind reader Bug?" she asks. When she saw that Adrian and Chloe were now slow dancing, but he didn't seem happy about it, and that she appeared to be trying to kiss him in a way that made him uncomfortable, creating a frown from Ryuheim and Ladybug, Neru asked her in a playful way. Ryuheim interrupted Ladybug as she was about to utilize her lucky charm. "Please Bug, allow me," Ryuheim says, then smirks and employs one of the elements, Wind Dragon. "Sorry for cutting in like this, but I'm just here to crash a party," she smirks and pulls out her sword ready to battle Bubbler. She yells out, turns into a window, and blows right in the middle of the dance floor before reappearing with a few dance moves she learned from her ballet lessons. When no one was looking to change, Adrian snuck away after spotting her and Ladybug. "Okay, Plag party's over," he tells him. Plag claws out, he yells, changes into Cat Noir, and goes outside to join Ladybug and Ryuheim in their battle against the bubbler. "Would you mind if I joined you ladies?" With a light-hearted smile on his face, he asked them. "About time you joined the party kitty," Ryuheim tells him with a teasing smile of her own, while Ladybug and Ryuheim smirk at him. "You three are ruining my party." Bubbler yells at them, making the three heroes look at him. "Sorry Bubbler, but no one wants to party with you anymore," Ladybug tells him, making everyone cheer for the three heroes, making Bubbler so angry he captured them all in bubbles and sends them floating in the air, making the three heroes' eyes widen at that. "No." The three of them said at the same time as Bubbler begins to run. "Oh no you don't," Ryuheim shouts and summons an additional element. "Dragon, lightning." Ryuheim yells out and then she turns into lightning and flashes in front of the bubbler, stopping him in his tracks as Ladybug and Cat Noir catches up with her. Lucky charm, when Ladybug yells and deploys her power, a wrench materializes, leaving Ryuheim and Cat Noir perplexed. The fact that it always gives you the strangest things will always never stop making it weird, she tells Ladybug, her face deadpan, as Ladybug scans her surroundings for inspiration before sprinting over to an air ventilation machine and unscrewing one of the tubes, sending it flying into the air. "Cover me, Cat Noir," she tells him, and Cat Noir nods his head and grabs the tube and uses it to deflect Bubbler's attacks by blasting it back at him. "Rioheim now," Ladybug yells, and Rioheim rushes over to liberate the Akuma by slicing the bubble wand in half with her sword. Ladybug adds, "No more evil doing for you, little Akuma," and then she opens her yo-yo. "Time to de-evilize," she exclaims, swings it around, and catches the Akuma. "Gotcha," she says, and then opens it again, releasing the now normal butterfly. "Goodbye, little butterfly, amazing Ladybug," she yells, throws up her lucky charm, and everything returns to normal, including Nino. "What dude," Nino says, rubbing his head slightly, unsure of how he got up in the Eiffel Tower. "Pound it, Rioheim," Cat Noir and Ladybug say, giving each other a fist bump. Ladybug says, "I'm about to change back, bug out," and swings away as her earrings start to beep, indicating that she would soon turn around. Rioheim then walks up to Nino and says, "Let's get you home, okay?" After Adrian finished unwrapping Marinette's gift, which Natalie informed him was from his father, she says to him, helps him up, and carries him down and back home safely. A few hours later, Neru emerges from the kitchen in her maid uniform, beaming broadly, carrying a big birthday cake with candles on top. When he sees the cake, Neru gives him a cheery, "Happy birthday, Adrian," which makes his eyes light up. "No way, is this for me?" "Yeah, when your dad said no to the party the first time, I ended up compromising with him to at least let you have a birthday cake this year, and he agreed to it, so I ordered a cake from Marinette's parents' bakery and brought it here," she says with a sweet smile. She lights the candles and stands close to him. "Go on, make a wish," she says to him, and he blows out the candles. Neru cuts a piece of cake for himself, and they both joyfully share it with their kwamis, as Adrian was pleased with his birthday this year because he got to celebrate it with his best friend.